No one even knew this video existed. There were no media reports prior to September 11, 2012. It had virtually no views. People weren't even motivated to email it, let alone protest and kill somebody over it. It is a mountain of lies. Let me give you a flashback from the debates.
And the suggestion that anybody in my team, whether Secretary of State, our UN ambassador, anybody on my team, would play politics or mislead when we've lost 4 of our own, Governor, is offensive.
I want the president to know I'm not only suggesting it, I'm declaring it. And I agree, it is offensive. It's sick. And so why would this administration do it and then lie? Well, a few reasons. One, it fits with their political correctness theme, their embrace of the Muslim Brotherhood's goals. It also provides political cover for the administration's lie that al-Qaeda was defeated, but it goes deeper than that. And this is the one thing that you're not going to get the Republicans to talk about either. And believe me, at the highest levels, they know. It goes back to the original theory that we broadcast here on this network just a few days after Libya. And on Friday, Geraldo Rivera reported on that very thing, about what we talked about days after Benghazi. He said he's now hearing from his sources, arming the Syrian rebels.
I believe, and my sources tell me they were there to round up those shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles. They were going to hand those missiles over to the Turks, and the Turks were going to give them to the rebels in Syria. Right. It was like a Iran-Contra. Yep. I think that it merits gigantic investigation. It will all become clear.
Okay, this is really interesting because Fox News should either discredit Geraldo Rivera and make it clear that his sources were wrong, or they should follow that story up. We made the same prediction on September 17th. We're a scrappy little media group. I don't have the global resources of Fox or ABC or CBS, but we're still breaking ground on this story. Why is it the big networks with all of those resources have nothing? Well, actually, they do. CBS News has spiked a couple of stories on this. Yet the problem is that the head of CBS News, he has a brother. And his brother happens to be the guy who changed all the talking points on Benghazi. David Rhodes. Now, this is the head of ABC. This is Ben Sherwood. I actually like the guy. He's a friend. But he's wrong here. Give him credit. They did break the story on Friday, and they were the ones that broke the dam. But his brother is President Barack Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor for Strategic Communications. No. That's this person. Ben's is his sister. His sister is Dr. Elizabeth Sherwood. She is the special assistant to the president. And then you have Jay Carney. Well, Jay Carney is married to somebody, she just happens to be the senior national correspondent, Claire Shipman. Let's see, CBS, ABC, NB. Hello. NBC spiked the story this weekend. Gregory Hicks, the whistleblower, they spiked it. The story is a Democrat that voted for Hillary Clinton. But NBC didn't think that was important. Maybe the president mocked the idea of tyranny lurking around the corner because it's not around the corner. It's already here. It's not only here with Benghazi, it is also here with the IRS. And please, dear God, pray that your neighbors open their eyes, because the IRS becomes the health care enforcer in just a few months. And we'll show you what the we'll show you what the press has finally recognized that the IRS has been doing for the last couple of years. Next. Being a Blaze TV subscriber, you already know the value of your subscription, and you know how important it is to be part of a movement that thinks like you and supports your beliefs and your values. I'm asking today to support The Blaze by buying a gift subscription for a friend so they can experience the wealth of information The Blaze offers, like thousands of hours of exclusive content, knowledge, and inspiration. Learn, connect, empower. Share The Blaze with a friend today. theblaze.com/gift. Okay, on Friday, the IRS surprisingly apologized for the targeting of Tea Party and other conservative groups. Now, I say surprisingly because nobody asked them for an apology. Why did it come out? They claimed that upper brass at the IRS had no idea what was happening. They said on Friday that it was just a few low-level people in Cincinnati, Ohio, that were just responsible for this crazy mix-up. Here's how the IRS Commissioner Douglas Shulman responded to the criticisms. This is back in 2012. He said, "There is absolutely no targeting. This is the kind of back and forth that happens to people." Now, this is people who apply for tax-exempt status. But the truth is, an investigation revealed as early as the middle of 2011, high-ranking IRS officials knew that conservative groups were being inappropriately targeted an entire year before Shulman said it's not happening. So not only was he wrong about the targeting, obviously they admitted to that, and they knew it happened. We know it happened. But he also lied about his knowledge of the practice. They targeted any group with Tea Party, Patriot, or 9/12 Project in their name. They targeted any group that was critical of this administration. They targeted any group that taught the Constitution, or my favorite, they targeted any group that, quote, wanted to make America a better place to live, end quote. Wow. This president earlier today called the revelations, quote, outrageous. Listen to this.
If, in fact, IRS personnel engaged in the kind of practices that have been reported on and were intentionally targeting conservative groups, then that's outrageous, and there's no place for it. You know, they have to be held fully accountable because the IRS, as an independent agency, requires absolute integrity, and people have to have confidence that they're applying it in a nonpartisan way, applying the laws in a nonpartisan way.
Isn't that great? I love that. They have to have integrity. Okay, so he said a couple of things here. He said, first of all, that it is a separate, independent agency. Here's the White House, here's the IRS. Well, there's one place in between. To believe that the IRS is independent is to not understand, the Constitution. The Treasury Department. The White House has the Treasury Department, and the Treasury Department has the IRS executive branch. And let me ask you this. No one notified the President of the United States? Are you serious? Because in this press conference, he said, I found out about it in the newspaper. In the newspaper? First of all, you still read one? No one called and gave the president the heads up that a huge political problem was coming. Not even a word, even after he read it in the newspaper. Okay, that doesn't, I don't buy that for a second. You should fire that person. A nonpartisan office, it's not. The IRS is under the Department of the Treasury. The Department of the Treasury is under the executive branch. This is under the